The first time I saw him, I didn't feel scared, just uncomfortable. It was a normal Thursday night around midnight. I had just come back from the university library after a long study session. My head was heavy, my eyes were tired, and all I wanted was sleep. The apartment building was unusually quiet that night. Not the normal quiet you expect in an old building, but a deeper silence. The kind where even the buzzing of lights feels loud. I stepped into the lobby and pressed the elevator button. It took longer than usual to arrive. When the doors finally opened, I stepped inside and pressed the 4th floor. The elevator creaked as it moved upward. Floor by floor. 1, 2, 3, and finally 4. The doors opened slowly. That's when I saw him. At the far end of the hallway, a man was standing there, facing the wall, completely still. At first I thought maybe he was just another tenant. Maybe he dropped something. Maybe he was checking a leak or stain. Something normal. So I didn't overthink it. I stepped out and started walking toward my apartment. But something felt off. The hallway seemed longer than usual. I didn't answer. My heart was beating so fast I could hear it in my ears. I slowly got out of bed and walked toward the door. Every step felt heavier than the last. I reached the peephole, looked outside. The hallway was empty. No one there, but I knew what I had seen earlier. And I knew I wasn't alone in this building tonight. I stepped back slowly. And then, silence. No more knocking, no footsteps, nothing. But I didn't go back to sleep. I stayed awake until morning. And when I finally opened my door again, there was nothing there. No sign anyone had stood outside. No footprints, nothing. But I never forgot the man standing in the hallway, because I started to realize something terrifying. He was there long before I saw him, and he never actually left. This happened a few months later. A friend of mine named Daniel worked night shifts at a call center. He used to come home late almost every night. One night, he told me something strange happened to him on his way back. It was around 1:40 a.m. when his shift ended. The streets were almost completely empty. No cars, no people, just streetlights flickering in the distance. He reached the bus stop and waited. Normally buses at that hour are rare, but that night something arrived faster than expected. An old city bus. The headlights were too bright, too harsh. It stopped directly in front of him. The doors opened with a loud hiss. Daniel hesitated for a moment, but then stepped inside. The moment he entered, he felt something was wrong. The bus was almost empty. Only one passenger was sitting at the very back. An elderly woman. She wasn't looking around, just staring forward. The driver didn't turn, didn't speak, didn't acknowledge him at all. Daniel sat down near the middle, and the bus started moving. At first, everything looked normal outside, but slowly, the streets started changing. Familiar roads turned unfamiliar. Buildings looked older, darker, almost abandoned. Daniel leaned forward slightly, trying to understand where they were going. He stood up and walked toward the driver. "Excuse me, is this the right route?" No response. The driver just kept staring forward. "Hello?" Daniel said again. Still nothing. Then from behind him, a voice, soft, old. "Sit down." Daniel turned. The elderly woman was looking directly at him now. Her eyes felt wrong, not angry, not kind, just empty. "Why?" Daniel asked. The woman didn't blink and said only one line, "This bus is not for you." A chill ran through his body. Before he could say anything else, the bus slowed down, very slowly, and then stopped. The doors opened. The woman spoke again. "Get off." Daniel didn't wait. He stepped out immediately. The moment his feet touched the ground, the bus doors closed, and it drove away, slowly disappearing into the darkness. This third story was told to me by someone who still refuses to talk about it in detail. Her name was Sarah, and according to her, it all started in a completely normal way. She was staying alone in her family house for a few days. Her parents had traveled to another city for work, and she was used to being alone, so it wasn't a big deal. The house itself was old but familiar. Every floorboard creaked. Every wall had its own small sound at night. But she always ignored it. That night, she went to sleep around 11:30 p.m. Everything felt normal. Until 2 a.m. That's when she woke up. Not suddenly, but slowly, like something in her mind was pulled awake. At first, she didn't understand why. The room was dark, completely silent. Then she heard it. From upstairs. Thump, thump, thump. Slow footsteps, walking, Sarah froze in bed. She stared at the ceiling, trying to convince herself it was the house settling. Old houses do that sometimes. They make noise, but then the footsteps stopped. Silence returned. For a moment she relaxed, and then a whisper. Her name, Sarah. She sat up instantly. Her entire body went cold. Nobody was supposed to be in the house. She waited, breathing carefully. Then again, Sarah, this time closer. She grabbed her phone. No signal. That's when the fear started becoming real, because now it wasn't just noise. It was communication. Someone or something was calling her. From upstairs, she slowly got out of bed. Every step she took felt heavier. The floor beneath her creaked louder than usual. She walked toward her bedroom door and stopped. Listened. From upstairs, dragging sounds. Something heavy being pulled across the floor. Slow, deliberate, scraping wood. Moving closer to the staircase, Sarah stood there, frozen. Her mind was telling her to stay in the room, but another part of her needed to see. She opened the door slightly. The hallway was dark, but the staircase leading up was visible, barely. At the top, there was a faint light. Not bright, just enough to show a shape. A figure, standing still, watching. She couldn't see its face, but she could feel it, looking directly at her. Sarah didn't scream immediately. She couldn't. It felt like her voice got stuck in her throat. Then the figure moved slightly, just a small shift, and that was enough. She slammed the door shut and locked it. Her heart was pounding so hard she thought it would break her chest. She backed away and sat on the floor, staring at the door, waiting, listening. And upstairs, silence returned again. No footsteps, no dragging, nothing, just quiet. She stayed there the entire night, not sleeping, not moving, just waiting for morning, the morning after. When her parents returned the next day, she told them everything. They didn't believe her at first, but they still checked the entire house, room by room. Nothing unusual, no signs of forced entry, no one hiding. Everything looked normal, almost too normal. But when they checked upstairs, they noticed something. Dust. A thin layer of dust covered the floor. Except there were marks. Footprints. Fresh ones. Not random, not scattered. They were slow, deliberate, and they led from the attic, all the way down the stairs, and stopped right outside Sarah's bedroom door. These were 3 horror stories that will keep you awake tonight. Some people will say they're just stories, imagination, myths. But the truth is, most terrifying things don't announce themselves. They don't break doors. They don't make noise. They just appear, silently, and wait for you to notice them. And if you ever wake up in the middle of the night and hear your name being called from somewhere inside your house, don't answer immediately, because sometimes the voice calling you is not alone.